Hello, it's Deborah from Attic Lane, and today I want to show you some miniature cards made using a recent release from Mama Elephant. This is called Little Bunny Agenda, and as you can see there are loads of tiny little bunnies. They're very cute. They seem to suit all occasions. There's one that has balloons, one has ice creams, one carrying a carrot, one carrying a cake, one dancing, one carrying a bottle. I mean, these are just so fun and so cute. I had to make some little cards with them and show you what I've done. I paired them with some greetings from quite an old stamp set. This is from Stampers Anonymous and it's called Crazy Talk. It's CMS 236. But there were some really nice sentiments on here that matched the bunny cards nicely, like Hippity Hoppity, Be Original. There were quite a few on here that I really liked, so I paired them up with this stamp set, but of course you could use whatever you have. I used two different types of ink to ink up the bunnies and the sentiments. For this one, which is lovely soft pale colours, I used Smoky Grey. So before I went ahead and did my bunnies, I stamped out a couple of sizes, little sizes that will just fit onto the cards, the very small cards that I've used, and I also cut out slightly larger ones, but I've used those all up. So that was the frame set that I used. It's from Cottage Cuts. So that's the first one. The second one that I want to show you is a bunny doing crafting, which is great for us, and the sentiment I chose is Be Original. I used my Smoky Grey again. I did a similar style of colouring onto the bunny itself using warm grey colours, and I used two layers of my die cut squares. I used one that is slightly bigger than the inner piece, and I did some matting and layering after I used a pink pen just to colour the background of this larger piece so that it gives it a little frame. All of these cards are 3 inches by 3 inches square, and I cut them those sizes because I happen to have some tiny little envelopes that I got in a kit, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to use my envelopes. So that was my second way of using my bunnies. Then I used two of the little bunnies from the set to make a party. Here they are. This is one blowing a little tutor, one playing a guitar. Very, very cute. And I stamped them on using my VersaFine Smoky Grey again. And then this time, instead of just layering straight onto a perforated square, what I did was I took the perforated edge and I used that as a rip line. If you start it with scissors, just enough to give you a hold on it, then you can rip the edges and you can make them look a little bit shabby chic or a little bit distressed, rather than have that very sharp edge. So that's quite nice. It gives it a nice jaggedy edge. I'm trying to find something black that I can show you out against, but let's try it on the craft card. So you can see it gives a jagged edge. So that was how I used my perforated frames on that card, and put an orange pen border just around the outside edge of my smaller inner square. When I've been doing all of these, the bunnies are anchored onto the card with a little shadow underneath them. So each of them have a little thing that picks up that they're not just suspended in air. If you don't put something like this on your card, it just looks like your character is hanging in the centre of the card and there's nothing anchoring it onto your card. This way the bunny is standing on something, and the same here, the bunny is sitting on a little shadow, and the same here, the two bunnies are dancing on a little shadow underneath them. Then I wanted to show you this one. This is a little different. I wanted to do add some detail to this. So using a black fine line pen, I've added some little lumps of soil, so it looks as if the bunny is in a pot that's coming out. It's just sitting on top of the soil. The last card I want to show you, I stamped this up using Onyx Black, my VersaFine ink, and I use this one because when I'm doing my colouring in, especially using Copic pens, it means that the ink doesn't run, so you don't have to worry about the ink running. Now with this one, what I did was I used my, let me find my round acrylic stamp block. These stamp blocks are great, and I will provide a link to these. I use these all the time because with little characters like these, they are the ideal fit. So I use this little guy here with carrying a letter, and I like to think that he's taking his letter to be posted, and I stamped it on, my card was like this. That's what I started with, and I stamped my character sort of halfway in my card, and once I'd stamped it halfway on my card, I cut out along the top of the head and along the top of the envelope, and I just cut out and cut around the little ears and around the bunny's head and around the envelope until it was a nice straight line, and when it was folded, and my bunny stand, it's difficult to show you this because you're at the wrong angle, but if I do it like that, maybe you can see that the bunny stands out, and you still have room in the lower half of the card to write your sentiment without it being seen above the bunny head. So those are the 6 cards that I made using the Mama Elephant Little Bunny Agenda stamp set. I think these are really cute. I think they're really lovely, just nice soft little cards, just to let people know that you're thinking about them. Now I'm going to leave you with some close-ups of all the cards, and I hope it gives you some ideas of how you could use any little character stamps that you have, and I'll leave you with a little music as well, and I hope you can join me again soon.